Instagram Stories Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. My friend Sandy recommended an awesome clip from Neil Patel, who is an online marketer, not somebody that I'm terribly familiar with, but she sent me a clip for a video where he described marketing strategies using social media to help you grow brand awareness. And I was listening, wasn't really sure what was so dynamic about this clip, but this video has some absolute gems when it comes to marketing and how to use influencer marketing. I thought this was just the perfect illustration. Here's the clip talking about how to work with influencers in a way that actually makes financial sense and gets you more views on your content.
One of the best ways to generate a lot of revenue and stand out, and this helps with the algorithms, is to have an influencer. And the key with the influencer, this is what most people get wrong. They'll go to Kylie Jenner. It doesn't have to be that big. It could be a micro influencer, someone who's known within your niche, and they pay him to do a post. That honestly doesn't work too well. They all get paid to do posts. What works really well is paying an influencer who's well known in your space. They promote your product. They're part of your business. They're also on your landing pages, your ad creatives, and they're endorsing the product as if it's their own. That converts extremely well, and that helps with the algorithms from what we see. Great example of this is Ryan Reynolds and Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds was not the founder of Mint Mobile. He got equity to help blow up Mint Mobile.
Raise your hand if you know the CEO of Delta Airlines. American Airlines? Southwest Airlines? No. But if I say, do you know the CEO of Virgin Airlines? Everybody knows Richard Branson. That's the power of a personal brand. The huge difference is, outside of airlines, Delta, American, Southwest, etc., they don't have record labels, they don't have clothing lines, they don't have vodkas, they don't have all these other things. Virgin does, because of Richard Branson, because of a personal brand. And so that's why we talk about branding so much and why it's so useful, is it can help expand your business to become much bigger than what it is, simply by people knowing you and knowing about the brand and the business.
I absolutely love that clip, and I really like the point that is made when it comes to the CEOs and personal brands and who you know from all of those companies. I truly do not know the names of any of the CEOs of Delta, United, Spirit, JetBlue, etc., but you bet I know who Richard Branson is from Virgin. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Neil Patel's strategy for creating content and what's most important, video, audio, or text. So stick around.
With Uber Reserve, good things come to those who plan ahead. Family vacay? Reserve your ride as soon as you book your flights. Big meeting? Scheduled. Next step? Reserve your ride in advance. Tickets to the show? Got 'em. Reserve your ride there in advance, too. To all the planner friends, now you can reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. Uber Reserve. See Uber app for details.
Welcome back. We are discussing the clip from an interview with Neil Patel where he talked about strategies to help you creatively grow brand awareness. And he was asked, what's the piece of content that you should focus on most? What's the kind of content you should be doing? Here's his answer.
So right now, when people make social media posts on most platforms, they can do either video, photo, or text. Should they be focusing on any one of those categories, or should they be mixing it up between the three different options?
You should mainly focus on videos because that's what all the platforms want. Second, you can do photos, but the main reason I say videos is you can take the videos and get stills from there for a photo, or when you're doing the video, just have someone snap some photos so you can get the photos as well. And then you can translate and transcribe, or in essence repurpose, the video into different formats. So you can have an audio version for it, just strip out the video and you got a podcast. You can take sound clips from it and you got reels and shorts, right? So you can take the text from, or you can take the audio from the video and transcribe it into text and modify it a little bit. That's why I say transcribe. And you got a blog post now. That's why I love doing videos first over any other content format. It's just the most efficient when it comes to repurposing.
I absolutely love that. I'm a huge fan of repurposing content. If you worked hard on it, you should be able to use it as many places as possible for as many different things as possible where it makes sense. Now, I don't 100% agree with that. answer that he gave earlier, because I think in certain ways, the way that you make video content may not 100% translate to a podcast. The way I talk when I'm on video is very different from how I talk when I'm on audio. Maybe that's a thing you don't necessarily worry about, but that's just something that goes through my head. So I always want the content to be a little bit specific for the platform, but the broad strokes of the idea, many times there's been something I've talked about on this podcast and I think, you know what, I can make a really good video about that. And then I do, and I'm happy with it. So definitely take this concept on board and look for ways to repurpose your content. This whole interview is excellent. I will link to it in the show notes. Be sure to check it out. That's going to do it for today's episode. One quick request though, if you wouldn't mind, could you write me a review of this show? The best place to do that is on Apple Music, also known as Apple Podcasts. We used to call it iTunes back in the day. You can get to the best place to do that from the show notes. There's a link there. It says, leave me a review, or you could just go on Apple Music yourself, look for the Instagram stories. That's the name of this show. I have 2, so just look for the Instagram stories and leave a review there. I would super appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to come back tomorrow for Masari Monday, where we're going to break down what the head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave, without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.